I'll go to the Cricinfo website and I'll look for a player. So here, let's say that I'm looking for Virat Kohli. So I will find his profile, and this is the profile. And in this profile, I'll go down and I'll go to the test matches, and here I can find his test match list. So in this test match list, I can see all the scores he has made since he started his career. For this data, for this analysis, I'm gonna use all of the data, but it's up to you if you want to just use past 3 years of data, because maybe you think that his performance is much better now, and that is the better representation of it. So I'll go to the Excel and I will paste this data in Excel. So I'll say, and I'll paste this. So I don't know, didn't copy it well, so let me select it again. And I'll go back and I'll paste this data. So this is how the data looks like. I don't need all these numbers, so I'll get rid of this. If you want, you can segregate the data for different countries. You can either choose just West Indies or maybe just Australia. Now I have two set of columns, so I'll just copy cut this column, and I will paste it under the other column so that all of them are in the same column. So let me go there and say paste. Now all of this data is here. Now what I'll do is I have a lot of DNBs and do not bat. I don't want this for this analysis, so I'll go to data and I'll say filter. So in this filter, I will get rid of blanks, TD, NB, DNB, and dash. So when I get rid of these, I just have the numbers now. So I'll copy these numbers and I paste it in a separate column here, and I'll get rid of these. So now I have just the scores, and I can write it as runs, right? And now in this runs, if you see, I have sometimes I have note out which is marked with a star. I don't want this star, so what I'll say is I'll go to text to column, say delimit, and I'll use a star as a delimiter, which will get rid of stars for me. So now I have runs, and then I will count the number of innings. So let's say I have 1, 2, and I'll select all these innings. So the total innings are 96. So I have total of 96 innings. Now in this once I have this setup, let me go up again and I'll call this as number, because these are just number 1 to 3, right, count, and I'll middle down everything. So now what I'll do is I'll select all this data and I will put it in the ascending order. So I'll just select this data and I say data and sort A to Z. So when I do this, what I'll say is that he has made a lot of zeros and then a lot of ones and then threes and fours, right? So what I will do is now I'll get a probability. So the probability will be given by, I'll take the number and divide it by total of 96, because I have 96 counts. I'll do this and this will give me the cumulative probability. So basically what is happening is that I'm taking each score as a data point, and then I'm comparing with the total number of data points, so for example, the probability of him like scoring maybe 25, because he scored 25 only once, so the probability for him scoring 25 is 1 divided by 96, right? But if I ask same question for any score, then I'll get this. But if I'm talking about what is the probability that he will score less than 100, so what I have to do is I'll go to the 100 and see the probability is 83%. So he will score less than 100 with the probability of 83. So let me draw the graph first and see, it will make more sense. So I'll say is insert and graph, and I'll say select data, move, remove, add. So in the x-axis I will put the runs, and this will go until 97, and in the y-axis I will put the probability, and this will also go until 97, and say okay. So something went wrong. I'll say select data again, add it. This one didn't go to 97. Okay, so this is what the probability distribution will look like. So if I label this, so I'll say design, and axis primary, and horizontal. So this one is probability, and this one is runs, and this is what the probability distribution will look like. So how do I read this? Again, if I have to calculate what is the probability that he will score more than 50, so if you click here, look at here, it says 68.75. so the probability that he will score less than 50 is 68.75, and the probability that he will score more than 50 is 1 minus 0.685. that will give me 30.125. so 31.25 is the probability that it will go more than 50. Now how will I make it more useful? So what I'll do is I'll say high score, and this is the low score, right? So let's say high score is 100, and low score, as the format change, let me change the format cells and make it journal. Now the low score is suppose 50, so I want to calculate what is the probability between these, right? So I'll look for the probability of 100 first. I'll say v lookup, and basically I will look 100 in these two columns. So when I use VLOOKUP, it automatically looks in the first column for 100, right? And then I have to say I want the value in the second column because I want the probability, and I want approximate match because he may not have exactly score 100. So I'll say approximate match, and that will be given by true. Say enter. So that gives me 83, and I'll multiply this with 100. So if I multiply this with 100, it gives me 83.3%. so I'll call this as percent, and I'll again click on this, and I'll just put a $sign here, so that if I move this formula, then this formula will not change. And I'll copy this and I'll put it here. So if I put it here, it automatically goes to 50, and now you can see it's 68.75. so the probability to score between 100 and 150, so we'll write probability to score between, and then I will write this as 100. So let me do this 100, and then I can write this one as 50. So the probability to score between 100 and 50 is equal to, move a little bit on this, is equal to this minus this, and I can put it as VS, because sometimes you can, if you switch the score by mistake, like instead of high score you put a lower score, and so I can get absolute, so this is not negative. So this is the percent. Let me move it here and call this as equal to. So now this is what it will be. Now I can move this like this, and like this, and this one like this, and this one like this. So now all you have to do is play around with it. So for example, if I want to see what is the probability that he's gonna score more than 100, so high score I will put it as just like 500, because I know he didn't score anything more than 500, and I put low score as 100. So if I do that, the probability of him scoring more than 100 is 16.667. Now suppose if I'm looking that he's gonna score at least 50, so in that case I will just put 50, and I say the probability of him scoring more than 50 is 31.25%, which is basically pretty high, and the probability of him scoring more than 200 is 3.125%. So this is how we can calculate the probabilities of a player making a particular score, and you can substitute this data with another player's runs, and this sheet should be able to give you the similar score. So I hope this example make it more interesting for you to understand the probability distribution and maybe calculate probabilities. You don't need any kind of prior expertise in the math or probability to do this kind of analysis. If you just think about it, it's pretty straightforward. And if you have any comments, please don't forget to write your questions or any kind of comments, and please like the video and subscribe our channel. We have a lot of interesting videos like this on our channel. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.